So now we're going to look at turning on the knowledge sidebar in the service console. And I'm in Salesforce Classic again. I'll show you the knowledge sidebar in Lightning here in a moment. But in Classic for the service console, you want to edit the case page layout. And I'm going to click edit next to this particular page layout here. This is the one that's assigned to my system administrator profile in my instance. So I'm going to click edit. And then next you want to click the layout properties button here. It's towards the top middle. And then for the knowledge sidebar, we want to select show in console and click OK. And so then once we've made that change to the layout properties, we want to click save. You want to be sure and save your changes. And if we go back to the Service Cloud and open up a case, we have the knowledge sidebar here, and it pops up the search automatically that matches the subject of the case that we have in the console. And now it found no articles. It's because we haven't really written many articles yet in our knowledge instance. You can open up advanced article search here, and that brings you to the knowledge search in a new tab. And so you see here that there's some suggested articles that come up. And it's just this one article that I created called How to Log In. I can select that to view it by clicking on it, and that opens up in a new tab in the console. And here is our knowledge article. Now I can attach this to the case by clicking Attach to Case. And so now I have attached this article to this case that I'm in, which is case 1003. I'll go back to this here in a moment, but I can also rate the article by giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down, for example, and that increments the count there. I can also look at the article details, and that's where I've entered in the text previously of the WYSIWYG editor when I created the article, and then also the properties of the article. And you can see that this is visible in the internal app, but not visible to customers or partners, and it's not visible in the public knowledge base either. And so what I can do then is I can go back to this case, and one thing you can do to hide this knowledge sidebar once it's been added is click this arrow here when you hover over it, and that collapses that down. And if you hover over again to the right, not to be confused with the force.com menu item, but down here, if I can find it, there it is, click on it to expand it again. So now let me refresh this tab. And what I was trying to find was if we had this particular case tied to the article, if we had the related list for the article for knowledge. So let me edit the layout of this page layout. And so we previously looked at the layout properties, but let's look at the related lists, and let's add articles to the list of related lists here. And let's click save and click yes to add this to the customizations if anyone's customized their page layouts. And let's go back to our case. And so now we've got articles, and now that we've added the related list, and we see the one knowledge article that I've associated with this case. And that is How to Log In article associated with my case 1003. And so now we've looked at the knowledge sidebar in the classic console. Let's switch over to Lightning Experience to see what the knowledge sidebar looks like there. And so I'm in Lightning Experience now. So let me go into the sample console. Let's go into the service console, and let's go into this case that we had before. So I actually had to adjust the display on my monitor in order to be able to see the knowledge sidebar. I wasn't finding it, but also another thing to note is this is not the knowledge sidebar here on the left. This just happens to be the knowledge object that I have displayed previously from this list of different objects or records. So I can select a different object that shows like cases list view, for example, and I'm on this case 1003, which is in this tab here. I've got some other cases open. I'm going to close those out and close out that knowledge article. So I just had this one case, and I've got the case details, contact details, cases for parent contact, for example. But over here on the right is the main feed and details related to this case. It is here that we have the knowledge sidebar in the console. And so one thing I can show you though and mention is that this is available by default once you've enabled knowledge in the sample console here for Service Console in Lightning Experience. But if for whatever reason you're missing the knowledge sidebar in Lightning Experience, what you can do is you can click the gear icon and then select Edit Page, and that brings up the Lightning Page Editor, or the Lightning App Builder, I should say. And you can select this knowledge as a component. Now you'll notice that knowledge is here. And so, for example, if I were to close this out to get rid of it, I could add the knowledge component by just clicking and dragging knowledge. and dragging it over here. And so I've added the knowledge sidebar component back. I could actually move it over here to the right. I'm going to move it up above contact details so that we've got case details, and then the knowledge sidebar is here, and click save, and that will adjust the page layout by using this Lightning App Builder. And so I'm going to click activate to activate this, and I'm going to assign as the org default and click save. Then I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to click back to go back to my service console. Let me go back in to edit that page again, and that brings up the app builder. I may need to refresh in order to see those changes made, or I may have not activated something properly. And so let me move my knowledge sidebar again. And so that knowledge component has been dragged over. And so if I click save, then select activate, I'm going to assign as the org default and click save. And then under activation, the app default, I'm going to assign this as the app default for, here's what I missed before. So this is the Service Console app. So I'm going to select the Service Console app and click next, and then click save. Then I'm going to review the final activation piece, which is app record type and profile, assigned to apps, record types, and profiles. I'm also going to select Service Console here. Click next, select master, click next, and then for profiles, I'm going to select my system administrator profile, click next, and then click save. So activation settings changed. I'm going to go ahead and click save again for good measure, and then I'm going to click back to go back to the service console. And so now my changes have been made because it was assigned to my profile. And so we've got it right this time. So that is how to change the location of the knowledge sidebar in Lightning Experience. So now that we've looked at how to turn on the knowledge sidebar in both Salesforce Classic and Lightning Experience, we're next ready to look at the knowledge publishing workflow.